Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Flash, and thank you for joining me for another Marvel Snap video. Quick housekeeping: if you smash that like and subscribe button, I'd very much appreciate it. Goes a long way helping us get to the goals that we have set here. And this video here, we're going to be going over the decks showcased from our good friend Glazer on the Snap Judgment video, and we're going to be covering the 3 decks that he showcased in that video. And you know what? Enough talking. Let's get straight into the decks. And the first deck that we have here is the UnfitParrot Valk Zoo deck, which you've seen decks similar to this before, and I'm not necessarily going to go over the line by line verbally. You know, you're here for the gameplay. Glazer goes over a turn, what to do on what turn, when to snap. He covers all of that. Check that video out. But here, as part of the stream team, we are going to be just going through gameplay. So this is the deck. This is what it looks like. Feel free to take a screenshot, do whatever we need to do. And we're going to play in this one, and there's 2 more. Let's check those out. This second one here is the deck that I believe Sizer took to number 1 on the Infinite Ladder. The information is accurate. This is a MiniMove style of deck. Again, this is nothing that you haven't seen before. It's just very good into a lot of different matchups. It's, again, MiniMove, but it's really an Angela Elsa Kitty package with all of the move things, right? Just to help accelerate, you know, the archetype and really get things pumping and moving. But we'll go through the things while we play the games. We'll get there. Let's get to the last deck. And this last deck by SafetyBlade is titled The One Piece, which for all you anime fans out there is just awesome, right? It is the one deck out of the 3 here that is showcasing Namora, and it's doing all the things that you've seen. The Wong into Namora, you have 1 card in each lane, and you can follow it up with Doom or Odin, whatever the case you got to do. We'll see. I haven't played any of it. I only just got my hands on Namora, so we'll see how things go. Let's get straight into the gameplay, man. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, so the first deck up here, we're going to be playing the UnfitParrot Zoo deck. Already Onslaught Citadel is a great location for this. What you are looking to do is really dependent on how your draws go in terms of what what your play line is that game. I'm not interested in really playing the Mysterio yet. Early Squirrel Girl is really good if you have Mockingbird in hand. Then you know maybe, okay, I'm going into Debris. You kind of have an idea carved out of what you want to be doing. See, like there's the Mockingbird. We can play Mockingbird now straight away here on turn 3. No problems. We don't need to scam any further. And with the Mysterio. But let's go ahead and put down the Mockingbird. I don't necessarily need to give the information yet that we have Patriot, and there's Wong. And with no way for us to be able to stop that, that is not great. Now, of course, we could slap Debris down and hope for the best, but we don't love hope for the best. Nevertheless, let's try to clog up that Wong lane the best we can. And now we can go straight into Patriot. Let's not play the Mysterio. This is not a Mysterio game, but with a lot of decks, you have to quickly identify what your game plan is, like what you're hoping to accomplish. There's the Iron Man. Okay. And we can follow up with... Unfortunately, we can't do multiple things here. So it's either we play Shauna into Dazzler, which I don't know if that's great, or Dazzler into Shauna to avoid like 0. I think the legs here. Let's see what happens if we go Shauna into, or Dazzler into Shauna. We are going to get the +3 buff for the Shauna at the very least. We're not going to move, but we'll get the buff. There's the Mystique copying the Iron Man. We lose the right lane, and what do you got for us in the left lane? Sage, oh, the double Sage crack, the quadruple Sage action happening there. That's a thing you're just always gonna lose to unless you have a way to stop it. That's typical Wong stuff. Nothing new, nothing you don't already know. Let's get to the next game. Alright, game 2. And it'll probably just be a couple of games with Onslaught Citadel again. Probably just be a couple of games with each of these decks, because as we're looking to showcase 3 decks, you know, you run the risk of, and you meaning me, of playing 3-4 games with the decks, and then these videos end up being 30, 40, 50 minutes, and nobody wants to sit around for all of that. Come on. Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. Storm on the Onslaught Citadel. A little sad, but it's okay. We'll see what the follow-up is, because we can at least play. We can go Nico into Shauna. Is that great? I don't know, but they're full floating, which is interesting. I wonder what that's about. Celine clips something. Patriot takes a hit, but it's fine. We get some power going. Sometimes you're just gonna throw Shauna out early. You have to play the scenario. You have to... I don't like that. Well, that's because they know we can't play into the right lane, which is very sad for us. It is what it is. But we play... Let's just get Mockingbird down now. And that's the risk you run a lot of times when you're... I see, and there's the Hobgoblin. When you're running Shauna, is this. Running into an Ebony Maw or a Zero, right? If you're not careful, the next thing gets clipped. There's a two-way thought process where it's either the Blue Marvel and we make everything bigger, or we just play the Cull Obsidian and see what they have that can beat us. Hey, they've played a Storm and nothing else through 4 turns of the game. Well, I'm sorry, the Hobgoblin is the other thing they played, which sucks for us considering that this Celine came out of Shauna, and what are the odds that they had a Hobgoblin to take full advantage of that? Now, 7 is not an insignificant amount of power in the Ebony Maw lane. Orca. Now, a single Namora doesn't win the game here. If they have like the full package of Copium and they're playing Namor or Namor, they'll win Sacred Timeline. But let's see what they got. Because that's Odin. That's all you needed. That's all they needed. 1 point of power. That's all they needed. But this is just, again, it's a very similar style of Patriot deck that you've seen before. This is nothing special. It just does really well in clogging up lanes right now, which for a lot of people playing Namora counters against that. Do with that information what you will. Let's get to the next deck. Alright, so moving on to the Sizer deck here, and of the group, this seems to be my favorite. Now, to be fair, like I said, I didn't get a chance to really get any Namora time in with that deck, and playing it here is going to be the first time. This deck, though, I like this package. The Kitty Elsa Angela package is just very strong. It's still strong right now, and it has a lot of ways that it can just beat you over the top with points. And it's got, you know, some cheeky stuff in here. It's got the Captain Marvel. It's got the you know, the surprise Juggernaut, which catches a lot of people off guard on ladder. Now, we're not 100% sure what... I mean, it's Sandman, right? So it could be Doom, Odin, etc. Now, they're going to want to... They're trying to take advantage of the Clintar. So I'm just going to move Nocturne over and tell them that they can't do that. No Elsa is a little sad, or Craven for that matter, but So I'm fully okay with going Silk into Jeff. This is probably a situation where I might snap because they're going to have a semi-difficult time maybe going over the top of me. Now, to be fair, we know things that might be coming here if you've seen any of the Namora videos or people playing Namora on stream. This is like reading Odin, Doom, etc. Now, we don't have Prio, so that's kind of crummy for us in terms of what we can do here. Because I would have loved to be able to Odin, or excuse me, to Juggernaut the Odin right out of that way, but things are what they are. Now, if they didn't pull the Odin, then we're sitting okay. There's the blink. It's gonna blink the Namora away into Odin, which is okay. That's interesting. Big Angela. Okay, that's nice. We like that. Now, here's the $1 million question. I think it's just, yeah, we're gonna move Vision into the right lane, and then we're gonna Kitty, Juggernaut. Where's Silk gonna go? Potentially nowhere, depending on where they play. They didn't play anything into the left lane. Okay, what do they got? What's their leader? I didn't play anything big, so it does knock those 2 cards out, but that's still not enough power for them to go over the top. And the Silk, just for good measure, flips back. Now, there is a lot of space management. There's a lot of moving parts. Take some practice. Let's get to the next one. Okay, so closing game here with this deck. The things that you want to be doing with this deck are all the things you've seen before. Either trying to get down to early Elsa, early Angela, and you're trying to get Kitty, Jeff, Nightcrawler, Silk on that location, bounce it around. You want a Kraven in the other, in another, in a different location to help continuing to accelerate things and power just growing all over the board. And ideally, a Captain Marvel on an Elsa or a full lane with an Elsa on the board to get her to 7 power is also very good, especially if you have Kraven on the board. You've seen this deck plenty of times in different fashions before. It is a quintessential, almost straightforward, silky smooth style deck, right? This is great because we can get down to early Vision, which is cracked. Absolutely cracked. The Cosmo's weird there, because if you know anything about how this deck operates, you're doing us a favor by giving us this extra protection. I'm not sure. You know, sometimes people do things and you're like, fascinating play. Because it just reads awkward sometimes. This deck is almost doing no on-reveal anything. Like, very specifically, this deck has 1 on-reveal card and it's Juggernaut. So, hey, it is what it is. We're not here to judge people in their play lines. We're here to have a good time. I am curious of what's happening here though, because we have a ton of power in the left lane they can't interact with. They got a bunch of Miss Marvels, that's cool and all, but we're going to be able to win that middle lane without a problem. Now, identify your play lines. In any other game of Marvel Snap, if I weren't recording for for content specifically, I would snap here. I need to make sure that we have, I'm not just talking crap here, and I actually do have a winning play line. The Ant-Man is interesting because this could be Onslaught, Now granted, it is turn 5, so we got some time. We're gonna have to move Jeff out, but like I said, we got time here. We can move Jeff mid, because at the very least, he still helps to outpower the Miss Marvel. They're not doing any energy scams, so you know whether or not Mobius is like immediately a dead card. And here, he kind of just a dead card. Let's take advantage of some extra energy on the Nightcrawler. That being said, I was gonna play the Mobius, but was Onslaught. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing that we quickly have to identify. We can't go over the top in the left lane. Okay, so that ship has kind of sailed. Kraven is good. The problem here is that if just Spectrum, for example, adds 8 power to the middle lane, which is arguably something that we cannot deal with. Just Spectrum, we win with a vision, right? But again, you're talking about 8 extra power here. We're looking at 24, which is a number that's probably too high for us. I mean, Kitty takes us to... Now, if we don't move vision, we've already put Jeff here. Kitty takes us to another 10. That takes us to 23. It's not enough by like this much. There's a case for this, and then that's kind of just it. It's whether or not they have it, and sometimes you got to play things out for science. What do they got? Claw? Same +8. There was no direct pathway to victory. See, because of this, all this extra, it was way too much happening there. Sometimes you have to know when to boop and know when to stick it out. But with practice, you figure those things out as you go along. Let's get to the next deck. And last but not least, the One Piece. I really don't know what this deck is doing, but we're gonna figure this out as we go along. Okay, I know what the deck is doing, but this is my first time piloting the deck. This is the one of the only the only deck of the 3 that I didn't get to test this before, you know, playing this here with y'all. Echo and Jeff, maybe? I already don't know what's going on. And yes, of course, you know, listen to Glazer through the play lines, but in the context of the day, that was so long ago. Oh, look, we have the setup we need. I kind of stumbled upon it without even realizing it. And here we are. Ouch. See? There's a lot of people, what you have to understand also, right now especially, there's a lot of people playing junk stuff, right? Because they know people are doing the Wong, Namora, Odin, etc., Doom, whatever. Now we can still get decent Namora value on the Jeff. Especially with the Wong, that's giving +10 to Jeff, that's correct. But the end play is where things get dicey. Because, I mean, Iron Lad could hit White Tiger, could hit Nocturne, could hit Ironheart. Those are 3 good cards it could hit. Well, the Ironheart or White Tiger is kind of really where what I'd want to hit. So for the sake of that, let's have the Namora go off here, because we can get into Danger Room. Now, and I say that because we can Colossus. Now, don't need to do that. What I'm gonna do is move this Jeff over to the middle lane, put the Colossus down. No. We just Doom. There's a case for White Tiger, but Doom I think is better unless they play Onslaught. You know, just good old Doom. Good old Dr. Doom. Now, of course, there's Goliath, so we don't get to do it. Now, points wise, it would have been enough, but of course, people are doing these things now. They're like, oh, I'm gonna put Goliath in here. You know, be careful, okay? Especially if you are playing something like this, try to get your hands on priority. Let's get to the next one. And here we go. To be clear also, this deck is not, it's not one of those decks that's unlike a lot of other Wong decks, right? This is a Wong, Odin, it's got Doom, White Tiger, Iron Lad's in here. You know, it's got the whole kind of the gangs all here thing, but it just happens to have Wong. I mean, it just happens to have Namora and requires you to operate under a very specific set of play lines, which is keep a one thing in other lanes. Yeah, we're gonna shut off Bar with No Name, because that doesn't do us any favors either. Yeah, we're not gonna snap. Okay. In a normal game of Marvel Snap, here's where I would hit the snap button. Cosmo is fine-ish. Sorta, kinda. Here's what we do. I'm gonna move the Nocturne into Bar with No Name. Let's move Jeff. Let's put the Wong down. We have all the other things that we need to maybe get away with a win here, which is, you know, Namora on the... Oh, that's tough. That stings, of course. One of the quintessential things that hurts you. But again, we're getting 10 power on Jeff, which is not insignificant. 10 extra power. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. A lot of claw, huh? And to be fair, we got Echo in here, but you know, she's not giving everything she needs to give here. There's a... No, we just Doom. Because that's just good still. Is it enough? We'll see. It depends on what's underneath that invisible woman, but it's enough to win the right lane for sure. Hell, even the Namora was, the Odin was enough to win the right lane, because Namora would, you know, track again. There's the Mystique copying Claw, so they win the middle location. There's the Spectrum. Is that going to be enough power in the left? It is. Ongoing, good. We seem to be running up nothing but a bunch of ongoing decks. We will play one more though. Well, let's play one more. Alright. So we're going to get one last one in here with the One Piece. This deck is susceptible to a lot of things, as are a lot of Wong, Doom, Odin, White Tiger, Ironheart style of decks. If they're not playing the counter, you can just steamroll them, but You're playing anything that stops you from doing what you want to do, you're kind of just cooked, which is unfortunate, but it's just true. I'm gonna go with the Colossus in the left lane. The Echo is tough because the Echo is really just giving. This is just a card in one location that can get the buff from Namora. Like that's all the Echo is just doing right here, which is low-key kind of fine, but we can Namora into, I don't know, hell, probably Odin? I feel like Namora Odin is kind of busted right here. Maybe we get 10 and 10. And then another 10 and 10, and I feel like that's going to be a lot. That might be the play. I don't know, man. We're going to find out. Let's find out. Unless they have a counter. If they got the counter, then they shut it off. And the fact that they have priority is could go either way for us. It's either good or bad. Well, actually, are they gonna have priority? Now Namora helps us swing the door. I'm not sure we wanted priority. Damn it. We didn't want priority. Because now they're gonna play, they got a Shang, I'm sure, whatever silliness. I'm fine with just Doom then. The Doom pivot kind of works because they for sure gonna Shang the middle lane. Let's get that extra power in there. You know, that snap red, I'm gonna Shang-Chi here. Oh, no Shang-Chi? Well, that's surprising. And they put the Mysterio in the wrong lane. Joke's on me. Quite frankly, we could have just done the Namora Odin thing and probably just won also. Odin and the Kamartage would have been boatloads of power also. This triggers twice and then, I don't know. Y'all know how Odin works. Come on, man. All right, let's close this out. All right, everybody. So those were the 3 decks. A lot of fun. Good stuff. The Sizer deck, like I said, he took it to #1. It's very good. It's a classic style of silky smooth in that same vein. The Valk Zoo stuff, you know, from UnfitParrot, good. It's good at what it does. Is it as great now based on what's happening in the meta? That's up to you to decide. And the deck here, the one piece from SafetyBlade with Namora, is just fun. Has a lot of counters, but every Wong into 1,000 million power has a lot of counters. And if it doesn't get countered, yeah, you can go nutty. And Namora does some very fun things in this game. Is this a card for you? That is a question you might have to answer after Leech gets that upcoming nerf. So it is what it is. I appreciate you guys hanging out here, and I am Flash, Power on Gaming, the stream team. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace.